Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 85 Beauty Talks. I am Keela Fowler, founder and CEO of 85 Beauty, and we are a makeup education company where we help make makeup easy and accessible so that it doesn't have to feel overwhelming, and it also doesn't have to feel like something that you are supposed to know how to do, because who teaches us? Nobody. Well, now I do. So today I'm really excited because we are talking about Makeup TuneUp because the doors are open and you can secure your spot right now. And I have a special guest with me. This is Ginger Turner, and she is a Makeup TuneUp alum, and she's going to be able to tell you a little bit more about inside the program. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Ginger and ask Ginger, first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
And tell us a little bit about you, who you are, the type of work that you do, and how you learned about Makeup TuneUp.
All right. I'm Ginger, obviously, and I am originally from Houston, but I live in Austria, and I've been here for about 15-ish years, a little bit more, but about that. I own a company. I work with Austrian hand-blown stemware, and we, for the past 7 years, we've been building the brand Sophienwald in the US, and we kind of do everything still. It's a very, very small company, and so we've been very hands-on. And then I learned about Makeup TuneUp through a mastermind that you and I are in, and I saw you posting a few things, and I hadn't had makeup on my mind at all, not at all. It was pandemic, it was February, middle of winter here in Austria, and was still recovering from like the holidays. And I saw you posting a couple of things, and I looked at it, I was like, that kind of looks like fun to, maybe I think I could do something like that. And then and I'd see you post more, like, she seems cool. And then you were like, here, I'm doing a free challenge. And that's how I learned about Makeup TuneUp. And then I was like, I like your videos. I think you're wonderful. I think you're hilarious. And yes, I want to be a part of that.
Thank you. That's really sweet. So what were your reasons for joining Makeup TuneUp?
So, like I said, makeup hadn't been on my mind at all. But especially after doing your challenge, I realized it was something that would make me kind of feel a little bit better about myself. And through the challenge, the way that you taught things with just like simple tips and tricks, and I had realized I had been so overwhelmed just by the idea, like you said. It was like, I'm almost 40 and I don't know how to use eyeliner. I don't know anything. And I still just always feel like this little girl who's gonna play with her mom's makeup and then kind of looking like a clown. And but after that week, I was like, okay, so I can do this, and I already feel a little bit better. So if I actually invest in it and make the jump and commit to the time, imagine how much better you'll feel after that. So that's what, and it had been my birthday, and I was like, there we go, yes. Happy birthday to me.
What were your hesitations or your concerns before starting the program? Because I know personally, I am a very thoughtful shopper. I like to consider lots of things before I make a purchase. I know not everyone is that way, but there are often things that I kind of consider before moving forward. So what were maybe any of the things that you were hesitating about or you weren't sure about?
I mean, for me, it came down to time and money were things that I was very conscious about. And so, I wasn't sure if I was going to, because of the time difference, obviously, I was not sure if I'm going to be able to make things live or if I'm really ready to commit to 6 weeks to doing makeup. And then, the price, it's a commitment, but at the same time, it's like, you have to make the commitment to take it seriously also, and it's absolutely worth it. So both time and and money, all of it, I would do it again.
That's great. And for clarity's sake, I'm in Pennsylvania in the US. And
Right.
so there is I believe it was 5 hours before daylight savings, and now it's 6 hours time difference between us.
We started in that weird week where there was an hour different than normal. So yeah, 6 hours time difference.
Yes. And then another person in the group was in California. So
California.
you all had like a 9 hour
9
time
hours.
difference. But we
Yeah.
make it work. And that is
Yeah.
actually one of the questions that comes up is how, like, what does the time look like? And what we do is everyone gets inside Makeup TuneUp, and then we look at you actually like give me your top 3 times in like days of what's the best one for you. And collectively, I look at all of the data and I'm like, okay, so for us, it was Friday at 2 p.m. That was the perfect for meeting everybody's needs. And we were all able to do that. So for those who are questioning that, that's how we make that piece work. But yeah, there's always I really believe like where there's a will, there's a way. And we we can make stuff work if you're starting to feel like, oh, but what's it going to be like? And then actually I was curious if you could talk a little bit more about the time, because 6 weeks feels like 6 weeks times 7 days. Like, are we doing 42 days of makeup? And so can you kind of talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, obviously 6 weeks went by so fast, and it definitely became something that like I would look forward to. It's like Friday night at 8. I'm gonna sit down, and Keela's gonna be there, and Sheila might be there, and Raquel's going to be there, and we're gonna do makeup, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So yeah, it really became something that I look forward to, and uh, you have everything so well structured. I don't know how you manage when you're like, we're going to do a look for 3 people in one go. Like it just everyone like just I'm just amazed at how you put it all together. And that was really fun. I'm not sure if I'm skipping ahead some, but I really, really liked doing all of our makeup together and you talking by step, because it just made it easy. And anytime you had questions, you just pop them out to you, and it's like, can we talk about that real quick? Yeah, absolutely. And so all of the questions were always answered, and everything was, like I said, so well scheduled that there was always plenty to do every week, and it didn't ever feel like a drag or like, oh God, I have to go do this thing again. It was like, this is fun, and I'm going to learn a lot, and I'm going to have a good time, and I'm going to look great afterwards.
That's awesome.
And I actually really love the fact that it was at night, because like you said once, like, and if you don't like, if you have a problem with the look, or if you kind of feel a little wonky about it, just wash your face and go to bed, try again tomorrow. It's like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So.
That is awesome. Yeah, it definitely is it's a huge shift when you go from I do my makeup in the morning to get ready for the day. And if I screw it up, I have to live with that all day long. Because the other piece of this program that I don't know that I emphasize it enough personally, is the element of practice. Like, you have to practice makeup. It's not one of just like anything else that you're learning that's new. It takes some time. You have to try some things and also like make adjustments, because I know we talked about this with one of your looks. You're like, can I go a little bit darker? And it's like, yes, you can. Give it a try and see how you like it. And then we talked about it next time, and we talked about some tweaks that you made and how you were able to gauge. And it's kind of like that Goldilocks effect where you're like, oh, went too far, too big. Ooh, didn't go far enough, too small. They're like, just right. That's the sweet spot. And it isn't as simple as like, I give you a look and then boom, go forth and prosper. It's really a collaboration. And that's the fun part for me. I'm like, can we just talk makeup all the time? Yes, please.
No, I really like that. And I liked the fact that it had, we would get a new look like every 2 weeks, because that would be the time. It's like, I'm going to practice this look, and I'm going to keep doing it, and I'm going to start feeling really comfortable with it. And also then it becomes really fast. when you know exactly what you're doing, you're like, I can do this in under 10 minutes and I'm going to look great and I'm going to feel great all day. And then 2 weeks later, it's like, okay, time for a new look. It's a few new steps, but it built on what we did last week. And so then, it might take a little bit longer in the beginning, not like terribly long, but, and then you just practice it and then it gets faster and then it's a new look. So I really enjoyed that a lot.
That's awesome. I was going to ask you to tell us about your experience inside Makeup TuneUp, and we've kind of already started. So were there other things you wanted to share?
I'm trying to like think back to what I already mentioned, so not that I'm repeating myself. I really just loved like the community aspect of it. I loved having people show up and everyone was kind of, I don't know if it's just me. I kind of feel like we're all feeling a little perhaps insecure about certain things. And so everyone doing makeup at the same time and everyone doing a brand new look at the same time and kind of working through it and stopping and asking questions and watching, okay, how are they doing that? Okay, I'm going to try that now. I really loved that. That was definitely a lot of fun. And yeah, that's definitely something that made it completely even better. Like it was great. And that made it even better,
What I found this is the thing that surprises me every time. And it's almost like like my brain just kind of gets wiped and then I'm like, wait, this again? Like it's always so shocking, is the way that you all take tips from each other and you're like, I was inspired by the conversation you were having with so and so last week and I tried this. And I'm like, what? This is amazing.
Like I didn't want to figure out how to work on my eyebrows. And it's like, oh yeah, and by the way, since we were talking about lip balm, I went out and bought like 5 of them and they're really fun and I really like them.
Yeah, and you did that without me. Not in a like, she went rogue, y'all. She went and she just bought stuff and we didn't have a conversation first. Not in that way, in a like empowered and totally independent way that you're like, I've got this. I can give this a try.
I was so excited. I was like, I need to do that. And then when I did it, I was like, I need to tell Keela because she'll understand just how excited I am about this.
Yes. It's such a fun experience when you start to, and you talked about this, that shift from like, I'm gonna try this to like, I'm gonna play.
Yeah. That's definitely something I wanted to say. It's you know, just in general, I realized, oh, actually, I'm skipping ahead, but I'm going to answer the question you haven't asked yet. That, starting a business and trying to get through that, and especially 2020, oh my God, that was like a massive curveball for the world, obviously. And I started realizing I was just getting so serious and taking everything just felt so heavy. And through having fun, having something to look forward to and having something to play around with, like I found myself being a lot more just playful in general. It's like, remember those things you used to do before you felt like everything was just so serious all the time, like life was so heavy. It's like, yeah, go back and do them and have fun with it and remember what it was like to have fun and remember what it was like to be playful and bring that to the rest of your life now. And so that's something I've been really focusing on in the last few weeks. And it's been great. I really liked it.
Oh, I love hearing that. That just makes me so happy for you. And like that radiates out too. Like people see the shift. People notice when you carry yourself different and I mean, I've said in our group, like Ginger has always been like happy, positive, generous, friendly, like all of those things. But I could literally like see like your radiance just like shine brighter week after week. And it's so exciting to see. And when you hopped on our call today, I was like, you look amazing. And you're like, yeah, this is look number 2.
This is look number 2, and I've titled it my badass look whenever I feel like I am empowered. Hear me roar, I am woman.
Yes, and it's so good. So let's talk about life after Makeup TuneUp. I mean, you're fresh out. It's been what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think 2, but maybe even 3. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not quite sure anymore.
I know. What is time? So
Right,
what's
right.
your relationship with makeup like now?
I definitely bring a much more playful and curious attitude to it all. And that's also a lot of fun because it's like I'm not necessarily intimidated. I look through what I have already. I'm like, I'd like to try to create something based on what we've done before, perhaps with some different colors, and see how I feel about it. Probably do it at night before committing to wearing it all during the day. Um, yeah, and I hadn't gone shopping for makeup in years. It had been years. And now I'm like, ooh, it's Saturday. I could go pick up something and it could be fun. And it's definitely a lot more, like I said, I bring my makeup with me to work so that I do not let my husband pressure me to do it at home before we leave. I'm like, I'm gonna go into the office and I'm gonna do my makeup and I'm gonna feel great and I'm gonna look great. So that's my relationship with makeup now. It's definitely, I look forward to it and I have fun with it. So, and
Yeah.
feel confident and like I feel good about what I'm doing too. So definitely confidence. Mhm.
And I love the way that you talked about like creating your own looks. And what I've seen you do is like mixing and matching. And so we talk about your makeup looks being makeup outfits, right? It's like the thing you can pull out of your closet, you put it on and go, and you know it's going to work and look great every time and make you feel great every time. And it, to me, it's almost like now you know that you have this top and you have this skirt, and you're like, what happens if we put those two together and add a scarf and like maybe a little belt, and let's see how this kind of feels. And that is the part that is like kind of like the world opens up in terms of like what's possible, because when it's overwhelming, it there's a difference between kind of looking down, like looking online or looking at the aisles of Sephora and going, there's so much. Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming. And shifting to, I have this collection of makeup. Oh my gosh, there's so much I can do. And in a positive way, in a like, the possibilities are endless. And like you said, you can walk into the store and go like, this is going to be fun. Like, let's see what's out there, as opposed to there's so much out there. Oh, I can't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely agree with
Oh,
that.
I'm such a proud teacher. I'm so happy of like to watch you fully commit. And I think that's the other piece of it is you have to give yourself the opportunity to ask the question that you're like, is this going to be dumb? Like, is everybody going to be like, you seriously don't know that? And the answer is like, nobody knows. Like, and even the people who know are still like they're still like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Just let me confirm that I've been doing that right though.
No, I always appreciated that. I would definitely start questions with like, this is probably a dumb question. You're like, Ginger, it's really not.
No.
And then that happened like a couple of times. And then towards the end, it's like, all right, here we go. This is my question. You're
Yeah.
like, absolutely, I have an answer. And that
Are
was,
there
I like
any
that.
final thoughts that you want to share?
Um, I mean, we've covered most of it, but definitely like there were certain things that started with makeup and started with my my commitment to doing something that made me feel good and reminded me how to feel, especially confidence was a big thing for me. I hadn't realized how just like I don't know where my confidence had gone, but it was pretty far gone. And it started with makeup. And like you said, it bleeds out into the rest of your life. It's like then I commit to I'm going to behave differently in my relationships with people, and I'm going to look to make life a little bit more playful and a little bit more fun. Yes, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and here you're in Europe, things are still a bit very slow and kind of messy, but I can still find the fun and the beauty and all of this and in other moments. And so I've taken these steps from makeup and applied them just sort of like to the rest of my life. It's like, so how do I want my house to feel? I want to make sure that there are flowers in the house and that there's music playing, which is something that also had just kind of gone by the wayside. And I want to make sure that my conversations with people are definitely going much more in the positive direction, not just like what's wrong with the world and no, we're going to create it in the same way, and we're going to make sure that everything goes in that direction. So it's really been a blessing, and I am absolutely just so happy I did it. And if anyone's thinking about it, even just thinking about it and you're not sure, I would absolutely do it. It's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much, Ginger. I really appreciate you joining us today and sharing all of your experiences. So I'm going to close it out for us for today. Thank y'all for watching. And if you are ready, even if you're like, I don't know that I'm ready, but like I'm ready to start talking about being ready, because like that's a stage 2, y'all. Go to 85beauty.com/makeup TuneUp to go ahead and secure your spot. You can also email me, hello@85beauty.com, and ask me all of your questions. Like literally, I am, this is my job. I'm like sitting here with my coffee, like ready to answer your questions. Like Ginger said, there is no dumb question. And make sure that you are going to be able to make the right choice for you, because Makeup TuneUp may not be right for you right now. And it may not be right for you depending on like what your life circumstances. Like maybe you already know what makeup that you want to do, and you just have to get back to doing it, because that happens. We all hit slumps sometimes. So this isn't about like me pressuring you and telling you all of the ways that you have to do it. It's just about you being able to really make an informed choice that you feel really great about. So I will see you all in the next one, and as always, stay fabulous. Bye, y'all.